Today is February 23rd. I just watched an episode of Gary V. 127. And the conversation was about, he's over in Europe, in Belgium, and he's talking about how he did a meetup randomly, and people came out and they're asking questions. And they kept asking the same question, and it was questions that people already knew the answer to. There were things like, the guy asked, like, should I document the journey of what I'm doing? And Gary says, the fact that you just said, you're using the language, document the journey. Like, bro, you already know that you're supposed to be doing this, but you're asking permission, and it was interesting. The common theme was that people worrying about what other people think and concerned with what other people have and what other people have accomplished. And that was the comment that he made was, like, we're letting fear hold us back. And I'll admit that I'm absolutely 1000% a victim of that. And it's interesting and it's frustrating at sometimes, because there's a level of, like, I believe in myself and I know that I could do things, and I know that if I just focus and I have the right people around me, I could do whatever I want to. But there's also this, like, weird side that your belief in your own self it actually, like, does something to other people, that they're willing to go out of their way to try to chop you down. And it's not that it's not that I know that that's gonna happen and just deal with it and focus. That's hard, man. That's a really hard thing to do. And I think being in a small town, I think that's even that almost magnifies it, because you can hear it and you can see it and you believe it because you're witnessing it. If somebody got a problem with you, or you sense something, you might see this person 2, 3, 4 times in a week, like, just randomly somewhere. And it's unfortunate that sometimes people don't want good for others. It's unfortunate that people haven't grown enough in themselves to understand that it's not about other people. And I'm saying all of this to say that it frustrates me, and it shouldn't frustrate me, and I should know better, but it frustrates me that I've gotten to a point where I like, to the soul of my inside, like, I want good for everybody. There's nothing beneficial that comes from negativity towards others. Like, it doesn't make sense. So I think when you get to a point, and it's a point that I've gotten to, I'm 29 years old. Like, if there's one thing I've done more than anything, it's bounce around and travel and meet new people. And so my experiences are just all over the place, which has probably been one of the coolest learning experiences ever. It's probably why I'm going on a trip to 20 countries in 100 days, because I like the movement and the adaptability and the new experience. But sometimes, man, like, you just learn stuff. Like, you just learn things. I talk to people all the time, and I'm always like, how old are you? People are like, why are you so concerned with how old I am? It's like, because I've realized that age is, like, with age comes experience. With experience comes just existence on life. And there's only so many things you can learn if you haven't grown to be a certain age. Like, me getting married in Vegas wildly and getting divorced and being married to someone who had a 13-year-old son, like that's an experience in itself. And so there's just things that have happened. There's places that I've been, there's things that, and this is everybody. Absolutely, everybody has their own story, everybody has their own connection to growth and life and understanding and learning new things, but it's almost like you get to this point of like knowing yourself. I think one of the downfalls to moving as much as I did was that I never really connected long term with a lot of people. And that's kind of frustrating sometimes. My best friend I've known for like 11 years, but we spent 9 of that not even speaking. And my mother, who obviously parents and their children have their issues, so ours are no different. Well, my situation's different, but life is the same. And then my sister, who was born when I was 13, so I've always known her as this little baby. And then I go to university, she's 4, 5. I'm away for till she's 9, 10. Then I'm a grown up, 11, 12. Now she's a grown up. And now I'm trying to get to know this person who's 16 years old, and that's an experience in itself that I struggle with every day. So I say all this to say that not that I know everything, not that I think I know more than other people. I just have some things, and we all do, and that have just taught me stuff. And I've heard enough of what other people have said, like watching Gary V's and listening to Charlemagne and podcasts and radio interviews and things like that. I've been able to learn a lot from other people's stories and other people's experiences, and you know, what is it? Smart men learn from their own mistake. Wise men learn from the mistakes of others. And I really try to do that as much as possible. And that's almost why I just kind of just like take things in and I go. And I learn on the fly. It's fun. It's really fun that way. But part of it is sorry. Yeah. I say all this to say, I do that sometimes. I forget stuff completely, and then I'll just pick up somewhere else. So that's what I'm doing. I've been through some things, and I'm at a really cool point in life where I think I'm able to reflect on a lot of these things that I've learned. I think I'm like, I have this like weird like young OG status amongst people. It's weird. I don't know. I have interacting with people. I get this feeling from them that I'm this like energizing, like enthusiastic, like super smart, and like people believe in me. And if the internet has taught me anything, it's that being open like this has only grown the potential to build those relationships with people, and in understanding that that's what musicians do with their music, and how people build cult followings, because it's through authenticity, it's through creativity, it's through being artistic and sharing your story. Lacey Keown is like the coolest person ever, and I would, like, from the bottom of my soul, I want to thank her for what she's been able to do and be open and share with people. It's really gotten me out of this fear of doing it myself, and it's just fear. It's just being scared and knowing that as I continue to push boundaries, I hear more, and I know that I'm gonna continue to push boundaries, and I know that I'm gonna hear more, and that, like, yeah, it's easy to say, like, yeah, it doesn't matter, but, like, we're all still human. These things all exist in our minds, and it's a constant battle. I think you get to a point where that doesn't matter. I think I feel like I'm getting to that point, but I know I'm not there yet. And I think accomplishing this 100-day field trip is part of that. It's doing something insane and accomplishing it, and all of these people who've been talking so much shit having to shut their mouth because I proved you wrong. And it's not even to prove people wrong, it's to prove to myself I can do it. That's just like a sub extra piece to it, but it's a driving factor for me, and it's something that at times hinders me, but it's something I know that I have to accomplish, and I know that when I do accomplish it, that will be gone. I know when I come back from this trip, like, there's nothing anybody will ever be able to say to me ever to think that I'm gonna, like, listen to their doubt or their hate ever. Like, I promise you, that's why this thing is so big. That's why it's so crazy. 100-day field trip. Yeah, it's nuts. And it's nuts for a reason. It's because the same reason Trump is president. Because if you say wild things on the internet, people will click it. You can use it negatively or you can use it positively to create change and inspire people to do good things. Because you create change and inspire people to do other things. But what are you using this for? Who are you using this to help? What are you using this to build? And me as a person, I just want good for everybody. I just want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to have what they want, what they need, to love life, to just chill out and just be themselves, learn to be themselves, learn to love themselves, and just keep it like super cool, groovy life. Like, what more do we want? We're only here for so long. It's a long time, but we're only here for so long. What is all this silliness for? Like, we don't need that. So I'm doing my part. If this is what I can do of one of 7 billion people on this planet, like, I'm gonna do that. And where that takes me, I have no idea, but I look forward to it. And I look forward to all of the amazing people that I experience through this experience.